welcome to the show. So, how's things looking with Brexit?
Brexit will make us all poorer under Theresa May's deal, another deal or no deal.
Britain would head straight into recession. GDP would fall by up to 8%.
The pound will crash, unemployment and inflation will soar.
House prices could plummet by 30%.
The biggest economic slump in modern history.
If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. We're fucked. We're fucked! Under Theresa's deal, we'll be 100 billion worse off a year. No deal, it could be 140 billion. What a choice! It's like they're going, would you like your balls slammed in the fridge? Or the car? Fridge or car? Fridge or car? Whatever we choose is bad. It's like when a mum goes, do you think my baby's pretty? Say no, you're insensitive. Say yes, you're a pedo. Now, what amazes me, whenever you talk about how bad it's going to be, it just gets dismissed like this.
We've had endless scare stories about Project Fear.
Project Fear.
Project Fear.
Project Fear. Project Fear.
Project Fear on steroids.
If we're going to talk about fear-mongering, what about all the ridiculous lies the British press have been spewing about the EU for years? EU says British yoghurt to be renamed fermented milk pudding. Bollocks. The EU is forcing cows to wear nappies. What? Coming over here putting Daisy in Pampers? Right? There's more. The EU is responsible for your hay fever. Release the pollen, Gunter. Soon they will have teary eyes. This one is just insane. EU tells women to hand in worn-out sex toys. Come out with a dildo above your head. Oh, God. Oh, no. She's turning a weapon on herself. You'll never take my rabbit! It's heartbreaking. Every Brexit option is bad. And whenever you bring up the idea of a second referendum, all you hear is this.
We voted to become an independent country.
People had a vote.
The people of Britain have spoken.
The people have spoken.
The British people made their choice.
Yeah, when we didn't know all the facts. Why can't we change our mind? We did it with women voting. We did it with gay marriage. We did it with Danny Dyer. He's actually all right. People change their minds. I'll give you an example. When Jimmy Savile died, people were sad. Some of us did 5 minutes on national TV praising him, including the line, "Thanks for the memories, Jim." I don't feel like that anymore! And don't get me started on Rolf Harris! The point I'm making, when the facts change, so do we. And to be honest, some of us can't even understand the facts. 1 in 7 adults have a reading age of 11. Or as they say, reading age. We should never have been asked about the EU in the first place. It's insane. 11-year-olds don't know about politics. When I was 11, I sellotaped my arse to see if I could fart out of my mouth. What I'm trying to say, I wasn't ready to negotiate EU fishing quotas. And in case you're wondering, you can't. Do you know what kills me? Jeremy Corbyn. Theresa May's getting a lot of shit, but he's the voice of the opposition. So why isn't he opposing? Almost 80% of Labour members want a second referendum, and he's completely ignoring them. It's bullshit. Think about it, right? If that was an actual party, and 80% of the people were like, no karaoke, you wouldn't be like, do, push pineapple, shake a tree. You wouldn't do that. I need some love like I never needed. What I'm saying, do your job, Jeremy. He's even bitching about the debate.
At last, it looks like the Prime Minister and Jeremy Corbyn have found something to agree on over Brexit. They both want to take part in a televised debate. The only problem is not the same one. The Prime Minister and her Downing Street advisers favour the BBC's. Jeremy Corbyn said he preferred ITV's so as not to clash with I'm a Celebrity.
Yeah, we can't let Brexit get in the way of that. You're there to debate, not watch Nick Knowles eat wombat cock. Now, if they have a debate or not, I just hope it's civil, because politics has got so toxic.
I will not vote for Chequers if she puts a shotgun in my mouth.
Mrs May should bring her own noose.
I've had death threats.
I won't knife you in the back, I'll knife you in the front.
I've had people tweeting that I should be hung.
Theresa May is a dead woman walking.
Your dad won't answer the question. Your daddy's a totally horrible person.
It's just how long she's going to remain on death row.
The moment is coming when the knife gets heated, stuck in her front and twisted.
And we're just as bad. We spent the last 2 years shouting at each other, racist, snowflake, gammon, libtard. You don't solve problems by shouting. If you're having sex and the condom breaks, you don't bellow into her fanny. Don't make her pregnant! Swim away, you little bastard! Swim away! I'm so fed up with Brexit. It's all over the news. It's even ruining local news. That's not what it's for. I want to return to the glory days when all they spoke about was shit like this.
Fruit burglars have hit around a dozen gardens and orchards in 5 villages.
Glasgow's Magic Circle is appealing for new members.
How do you know whether it's a tights or a no tights day?
A member of the public dialed 999 to complain that a girl had stolen his sandwich in Bristol.
Take a look at these knitted breasts.
It's not just local news. The BBC was so bored of Brexit, they had a story about a massive cow.
Knickers is the cow's name. Now, like many of the cows there, he was destined for the abattoir. But when his owner tried to sell him at auction, the meat processors said they couldn't take him as he's just too big.
That is a big cow. He doesn't moo. He fucking roars. He's massive. He shouldn't be called Knickers. He should be called Spanx. Tell you what, let's see the EU put a nappy on that. Now, my favourite thing about this story is definitely the way the Independent explained how much he weighed, right? He's 2,800 pounds, or as they put it, 14.5 Danny DeVito. How brilliant is that? When did he become a unit of measurement? I hope this takes off, just Attenborough. Here we see the blue whale, almost 4,000 times the size of Danny DeVito. Just your mum at Christmas. Oh, I've had a big Christmas. I put on half a DeVito. Your dad did a Schwarzenegger in the toilet. Now, talking of big beasts, did anyone watch the boxing?
Tyson Fury returned to the top of world boxing last night. He survived 2 knockdowns to claim a draw with WBC heavyweight champion Deontay Wilder.
Self-styled Gypsy King from Preston outboxed his opponent for much of the match, but he was knocked down twice.
The knockdown in the 12th round, I still don't know how he got up.
Same here. Did you see the punch? Look at that. He hit him so hard, Ollie Murs thought there was a terror attack. Apparently, he hit him with the power of 18 Danny DeVitos. Mind you, that punch left its mark. Did you see what he did in the post-fight press conference?
Listen, we can only do our best in that ring. And no matter what anybody says or what anybody don't say, Deontay Wilder is a hell of a champion. A long, long time ago. Come on, guys, join it. All together now. Survive on this American pie. Oh, the levee to the levee, but the levee was dry. And good old boys are drinking whiskey and rye.
You could argue that Tyson Fury is Britain right now, bloodied, bruised, but still fighting. And with damage we'll only truly understand in 30 years' time. That, ladies and gentlemen, was a joke about Brexit. Next up. Now, gender reveals have become a big thing. Instead of saying whether it's a boy or a girl, people pop a balloon. If it's blue, it's a boy, and if it's pink, it's a girl. Sometimes this doesn't go well.
Come on. Boy or girl?
Fucking girl.
Sometimes it can affect an innocent bystander. But this has to be the worst gender reveal ever.
You want to watch this? Now, that was meant to be a celebration by Arizona border agent Dennis Dickey that his wife was to have a boy. That's why you saw the blue smoke. But as you can see, what resulted instead of joy, was a grass fire, which spread. It took hold of the Coronado National Forest and destroyed 47,000 acres, costing $8.2 million. Mr. Dickey appeared in court where the video was shown. He was given 5 years probation and a $100,000 fine.
He destroyed 47,000 acres. That's 2 million Danny DeVitos. What a moron. Imagine this kid in the future. Dad, you know my christening photos? Why have you got no eyebrows? My mum saw this and went, blimey, normally the only thing a baby destroys is your fanny. Finally this week, very sad news. The brilliant Sir Billy Connolly has announced his retirement from live performance. Oh, indeed. He'll be sorely missed. It's an overused word, but that man is a legend.
Wildebeest don't know they're wildebeest, for there are no mirrors in the Serengeti Plain. You can be anything you like. You ask a wildebeest, are you a wildebeest? Oh, fuck, you kidding? Wildebeest, I'll be right. I'm one of them stripy things over there. Too fucking right, oh aye. One of them lions looks up, I'll just fucking fly away.
My hero. Billy, enjoy your retirement. There will never be another like you. Join me after the break when I'll be talking to one of the best comics in the US, the brilliant Michelle Wolf. Welcome back. Now, technology is amazing. Sat-navs, the internet. We live in a world where cars heat our bums. I'm driving to Scunthorpe, my arse is in Ibiza. And yet, every time you open a paper, you read shrieking headlines like this. Robots to replace humans, it all work within 120 years! Who cares? A, in 120 years, you'll be dead. And B, nobody in this country likes their job. We're British. What's the American dream? If I work hard, I can be anyone. British dream? Lying. If I hit snooze, I can get 15 minutes of naughty sleep. Every one of you has put in an Oscar-winning performance to get a day off work. I can't come in today. My grandfather has died. Yes, my third grandfather. You're very kind. This could be amazing. If robots are working for us, think of all the shit we won't have to put up with in the office. No bosses, no rotors, no team bonding, no more having to buy cakes because it's your birthday. When did that become a rule? It's your special day and you have to give people you don't like treats. And they're never grateful. Is it vegan? Is it gluten-free? Is it fair trade? It's a fucking cake, Sharon. And I don't want to be rude, but you're clearly familiar. And I know there'll be people going, actually, I really love my job, it's fine for me. And you're like, you're going to be dead. But if by some miracle you live until you're 160, think about it. You like your job now. Think how amazing the world's going to be in 120 years' time. There'll be, I don't know, teleportation, mini David Attenboroughs, flying bacon sandwiches. What I'm trying to say, surely that's better than admin. Like anyone's going to be in 2138. I like jetpacks, but this hole punch isn't going to empty itself. We won't even have hole punches in the future. You'll have a little robot that jumps on your desk and just goes, huh. And yes, that's going to take some getting used to. I've got it, yeah!
want anything stapled?
I'm all right, actually. Robots could be amazing for us. Think of the current strain on doctors, nurses, teachers, the police. Maybe, in the future, all this could improve their lives. But no one ever talks like that. It's always, they're going to take our jobs. We're giving them too much power. What if they rise up and kill us? I mean, Christ, look at this shrieking headline. Self-driving cars are already deciding who to kill. They're not. Self-driving cars will remove human error and save thousands of lives. But on the rare occasion that a crash is unavoidable, what they do, they analyse the road, they go, oh, look, there's young babies over there, there's old people, and they hit the old people instead. Right? That's what they do. And yet I can still feel pensioners going, they're going to kill us, they're not. They're not going to be hunting old people. You're not going to get Herbie revving his engine outside Mecca Bingo.
I smell knitting. Let me hole punch them.
Mind you, most British people aren't worried about being killed by a Tesla. They've got other ideas. Brits say you would spend time commuting in driverless cars having sex. Only in this country. Behold, the self-drive 5000. Any questions? Can I fuck in it? It would be brutal, wouldn't it? Traffic jams are bad enough as it is without watching British people pumping in a Prius. That poor car's going to be wiping its windscreen with its own tears. I've seen so many things. And it's not just cars. We are so stupidly horny. 1 in 5 British adults would have sex with a robot. Now, what I love, I can feel the aggression. I can feel the tension that the women are going, men. Typical dirty men, always thinking about your dicks. To which I say, fuck you. You horny witches have been using robots for years, and all you did was snap off its finger. You left the rest of him in the shed.
I'll come back for more when I need it.
I've seen the devices you keep in your handbags. Some of these things have got fingers on top of fingers. These contraptions are treating you like a bowling ball, and you want to sit there and judge the fellas? For shame. For shame. The sex robot industry is completely insane. I mean, look at this. A sex robot has been given a Scottish accent to make it sound less robotic. 2 words. Andy Murray. Oh, that's quite nice. Of all the accents you could have, French, ooh la la, yeah. Italian, ciao bella, yeah. Fucking do me! Ooh la la. Christ. Now, what I'm trying to say, we shouldn't be afraid of automation, and we can do greater things with robots than shag them. And yet, we never see these stories in the mainstream press. I mean, did you know we already have a bee drone that can pollinate flowers when real bees can't? Robots are helping researchers work to end world hunger, and robots can help detect cancer in less than a second. That's just 3 of the many things happening every day. Thanks to technology, we're already able to make dreams come true.
Jack's a blue, so that this is his dream. To be a mascot of your club that you support is a huge thing.
It's the first ever virtual match day mascot. If you look, that is Jack, 14-year-old Jack inside there, who will be controlling the mascot from home tonight.
Oh, I mean, Phil Jaggs, when he come and he took him and he put him under his arm, and we heard him saying, you know, let's go, Jack, come on, and then he was showing him to all the crowd and introducing him to all the other players, all the other mascots. It was just, I did get a bit choked up because it was just amazing.
And that is the virtual mascot experience that 14-year-old Jack McLinden will be now seeing at his home in Walton.
That somebody's saying Jack as Jack and not Jack as the boy in the wheelchair or Jack the boy with the oxygen, seeing Jack as a boy. And that is just everything to us.
Imagine how wonderful it'll be in 120 years' time. Not now. Now it's time for some playground politics. This week, I asked the children of the world what makes them happy.
I see a snake get eaten in a one bite a pig.
You saw a snake eat a pig in one bite, and that was your perfect day?
Yes.
What makes you happy?
My family.
Brilliant.
Helping people.
Well, that's a good one.
Our secret is that we laugh at stuff only when it's a joke. I have a very funny joke.
Oh, great. What is it? How does it go?
There were tiny baby jelly kids. Went in a jellycopter, they turned to jelly. That's really a joke. My mom's sisters, they thought it was really funny.
Apparently, a lot of people are more depressed than ever.
Maybe they don't get enough entertainment with their toys and stuff, maybe.
Yeah, that's...
Maybe that's what's going on, because when you play board games, it's really boring. So why would you play a board game if you're bored in the first place?
Yeah, because it's spelt B-O-A-R-D, but it should be spelt B-O-R-E-D. Because it's a board game that leaves you bored.
So, yeah.
And do you know any ways to relax? Because it's a lot of people are into meditation.
And you just go, kumbaya. Eat chocolate.
Okay. What if they eat too much chocolate?
Doesn't really matter because they ate chocolate.
That is true. What if I am not happy and I see myself in the mirror? What should I say to myself?
Oh no. I don't like me.
But is that going to make me happier?
No. Oh,
So we need to get happy.
say, oh, happy birthday.
Oh, happy birthday. What if it's not my birthday? What should you say to yourself?
How disappointing.
So you think, sorry, I spat on you there, mate. I don't want to rub your lip, but there's some of my gob on your... Because he made me laugh so much, I spat on a child.
I've never had a bad day.
Never had a bad day?
Because my mum always hugs me.
Well, this is what I
Every
need
day.
You appear to have figured out the secret to happiness, which is get a hug from your mum or dad. Would your dad hug me if I were to give him 50p?
No.
£1.
No, my dad doesn't take bribery. I love you.
£2?
Yeah.
That deal?
Now it's time for my special guest. Tonight's guest is one of my favourite comedians. She caused a global sensation after she delivered an incredible set at the Correspondents' Dinner attacking Trump and his White House.
Here we are, the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Like a porn star says when she's about to have sex with a Trump. Let's get this over with.
Last night's White House Correspondents' Dinner turned into a travesty when comedian Michelle Wolf turned in a crude and cursing performance.
I think she nailed it. I thought it was beautiful.
Trump isn't here, if you haven't noticed. He's not here. And I know I would drag him here myself, but it turns out the President of the United States is the one pussy you're not allowed to grab.
Please welcome the hilarious Michelle Wolf! Nice to see you.
I curtsied.
Yeah, it was lovely. Did you do that because you were in England? And
Yeah.
you meant
I was
to
like,
do.
this is what you do, right?
Yeah. What an amazing year you've had. Massive.
It's been interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, for people who don't know what the White House Correspondents' Dinner is, could you explain?
So the press room that you see, if you ever watched a press briefings, all the reporters in there are part of the White House Correspondents Association. So they have a dinner every year that they call Nerd Prom, where they all go, they let down their non-existent hair, and they eat dinner, and like there's a comedian that comes up whose sole job is to roast the president and the people there. That is the job they are hired to do, and then that's it.
Yeah. And now, because of your fine performance, that does not happen.
Yeah. I will also say the only like, Trump hasn't gone to the Correspondents' Dinner the 2 years he's been in office.
Yeah.
The only other time a president missed the Correspondents' Dinner was when Ronald Reagan, and he had just gotten shot, and he called in from the hospital.
Really? And yet
So
Trump-
when I say Trump's a pussy, I mean, he's a pussy.
What's fascinating about that is that you could argue that when Obama roasted Trump, that's kind of what led to a lot of this.
That's what a lot of people say.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
it was the same year Seth Meyers did it.
Yeah.
And they say between the two of them, they really got him to run.
Well, we had Richard Branson on the show, and apparently Trump showed Branson, apropos of nothing, like a list of the 12 people he was going to get even with. And that was like a year before.
Who else is on the list?
Well, this is it. But it's that bizarre thing of, like, there's these two billionaires. He's like, that's my list of all the people I'm going to get when I'm big. And he's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You said it was deeply unsettling.
Wow. And that's crazy because you're a billionaire.
Yeah. Just have them killed.
Yeah.
Rather than
Way to get them.
Yeah, yeah.
Just buy an island like Richard Branson,
But you know-
invite them over, and then they get lost.
What's it like being in the middle of a global news shitstorm? Because your set was so great.
Thank you. I think universally beloved.
Yeah.
I think everyone loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone with a brain loved it.
Yeah.
But a lot of people without brains, not so keen.
People really got creative in some of the ways they kind of went after me.
Why, what did they say?
There's this one alt-right group that they wrote that they made a fake news article that I had been pled guilty to bestiality. Which I have to give them a lot of credit on this. First of all, they looked up all this personal information about it, put it in like my hometown newspaper, which is like a newspaper that like, goes out to like 3,000 people. And had all these facts about like where I went to school. But the most interesting part about it is that after pleading guilty, I was only fined $1,500. And I was like, well, if you're gonna fuck a dog, that's not that much. Less here.
And what's... That is an excellent joke about dog fucking and currency.
Yeah.
What I found... But this is the phenomenal thing about fake news, is I know you, and yet I looked at that and was like, does she fuck dogs? Like that. Well, that's the horrible thing. I was like, I don't think she... I know she's got a high-pitched voice, but
Yeah.
I don't...
Maybe it was just an accident. Maybe I started talking and then all these dogs came around and I was like, what are we gonna do with all these dogs? Fuck them.
What? But how did that... Like, is it just hilarious, or do people obviously think it's ridiculous?
Well, I think what...
Or did you feel like you had to, if you're walking around in New York and you saw somebody walking a dog, did you have to go, hey? Do you know what I mean?
Well, yesterday, I was in line at TSA to fly over here, and a bomb dog sniffed my crotch. And I was like, still got it.
Very good. What's it like being trolled by the president?
I mean, when he tweeted at me, I don't have Twitter on my phone or anything. So I was out at a show in Brooklyn, and I got all these text messages that the president had tweeted about me, and I was like, well, I can't do anything about this. I'm like 45 minutes from my apartment.
We've actually got the tweet. We've got the tweet that was sent to you from the president. So-called comedian Michelle Wolf bombed so badly last year at the White House Correspondents' Dinner that this year, for the first time in decades, they will have an author instead of a comedian. Good first step in comeback of a dying evening and tradition. Maybe I will go. And this is the brilliant response.
I'd bet you'd be on my side if I had killed a journalist. Hashtag be best.
I find it strange that the White House will defend a pussy grabber,
Yeah.
but they get upset if a woman tells jokes about them.
Yeah, it's a real weird line to be on.
Yeah, yeah.
I also think it's like I think part of it might be because I'm a lady.
Yeah.
I said pussy, and they were like, "How dare she?"
Yeah, yeah.
That's only for men to say.
See, I think men struggle saying it. I think, like, particularly here, like, it's a very American word, pussy.
Yeah, but you guys can say cunt here, and that's amazing.
Yeah. But that's fine. But it's... But that's the...
I'd trade pussy for cunt any day. That's the new store I'm opening.
Yeah. What I find baffling about you is that, like, A, that somebody would critique you, but also it's always like, oh, she's a typical feminist comic. I don't think you're a feminist comic. I've seen your stuff. I think that's stretching it, isn't it?
Yeah, you know, I want women to be equal, but, like, I don't know if you guys heard this story a couple weeks ago in America. A bunch of pipe bombs were sent to, like, various different people, ex-presidents, Robert De Niro, you know, the regulars. And before they figured out who did it, there was, like, a good part of me that was like, I hope it's a woman. Because, like, I want women to be equal. I want us to be just as good as men, but also just as shitty. You know? Like, get out there, women. Be evil. And plus, I think a pipe bomb from a woman is gonna... I mean, it's gonna be a nicer pipe bomb. The packaging for these bombs was horrendous. You know, you get a pipe bomb from a woman, you're like, this wrapping blew me away.
Now, let's talk about your special, which I believe is still available. It's on HBO.
Yeah.
But you can't get it...
I think it's on Sky now.
You can't get it on Sky. I tried finding it yesterday, and I haven't got a search thing, and I was trying to type your name in. I couldn't find it. And my dog's not very well, so it was a tricky evening.
Well, sorry about your dog.
Yeah. Yeah. Hang on, it all makes sense now. I'm just gonna watch Michelle. No! Why are you pissing on the screen? No! But it's called Nice Lady. And again, I don't think of you as a nice lady. I don't, No, but I mean that as a sign of respect.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a fair assessment of me.
Yeah. You should be called Funny Hussy.
Yeah. A little bit of an asshole. No, yeah, you know, I think people... You know, like, they see, like, a woman that's a comic, and they think they're going to hear, like, certain things out of her.
Yeah, yeah.
And I kind of try to not be that.
Yeah. I love the bit, you had an amazing bit about there was a little while, I think it was last year, the Free the Nipple campaign on Instagram.
Yeah, yeah, because we kept having all these women, like, they wanted to free the nipple on Instagram. And I was just like, can we focus? Can we focus here? Like, I mean, like, some women want to be charged and stuff and get paid the same, and other women were like, I want to free the nipple. And, like, honestly, like, I just think if you focus your attention on one thing, you're much more likely to get it accomplished.
Yeah.
So if, like, all women voted and we decided that, like, freeing the nipple is what we really wanted to do, I'd get on board. I'm a team player.
Yep.
But, like, I just can't believe it was a woman's idea. It sounds like a man infiltrated a meeting, and he was like, we gotta get these nipples on.
Free the nipple, exactly. Now, you're on tour. Are you touring here?
I am. I'm going to be touring here next summer.
How do you find a difference gigging over here to America? Because when I gig in the States, it's just joyous. Like, the fact that they clap, like, it's so funny. Like, as you walk on, they stand up.
Yeah.
It would never happen here. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's so funny. They're so happy to see you. Whereas British people, there's that Conan.
I don't mean this to come off negative, but you guys are a bit assholes to do comedy in front of. You'll be like, prove it. Prove it again. Again, monkey, again.
And what I love is you'll go, yeah, that's us, isn't it? That was a brilliant interview. I love that. Ladies and gentlemen, the wonderful Michelle Wolf. Join me after the break when I'll be having an ice bar with Paul Chowdhury. It's time for Live Forever, where I get a comedian mate of mine to help conquer my fear of death. Last week, me and Paul Chowdhury did cryotherapy, and it did not go well for me. I screamed a lot. So I wanted another crack at this, and this week we did an ice bath.
Okay, so whole body cryotherapy is going into a cryo cabin that goes down to minus 130 degrees.
Boys, very cold, boys, very cold.
Yeah, do that for a little bit as well. Just
No! Tell you what, I'm really strong. I'm bleeding here. Oh,
There you
God.
go.
Oh, God. How are you not screaming?
Hey, Arthur.
Hey.
I'm Russell. Nice to meet you.
Arthur.
This is Paul. He doesn't shake. We did cryotherapy, and I screamed like a sheep that was about to be murdered.
Like a pussy clout.
All that. And Paul didn't make any noises. And then he told me about Wim Hof.
Yes.
Your dad?
Not really.
Uncle?
No.
Auntie?
He's not related. Who is Wim Hof, for the people at home that may not know?
He's a Dutch daredevil who started a thing called Wim Hof method. He teaches the practice of combining breathing, meditation, and cold exposure.
Paul thought he was a pornographic film star.
Sounds like a porno star,
It
isn't it?
sounds like it, yeah.
Wim Hof, baby.
But me and Paul are going to hit the ice bath, and we're going to be in that together.
What?
Yeah.
I thought this business would open me up to taking baths with women and shit.
But you have to start with him.
With another
Yeah,
man.
exactly.
Yeah.
This is
That's
the
how
age
we
we
start.
live in. We can't say we like women anymore, so we have...
We
this
can
is-
say that.
It's not politically correct to say you like women.
You
like
can
women?
say, of course you could say that. It's absolutely fine.
Where are you from?
Latvia.
Where's that? Northern Line, no?
Northern Let's have some ground rules for the bath. No eye contact, no boners, no shit.
How are you going to get a boner in that temperature?
So we're going to prepare with the breathwork exercises first. We're going to stay just for about 2 minutes, and that's it. If you want, you can go for the second time as well.
We're going to be in there for 2 minutes.
Yeah, up to 2 minutes.
I don't think I'm going to make 2 minutes.
I'm sure you will. I'm sure
You
will.
think he
I'm confident.
definitely will, yeah.
I don't know.
Cool, guys. So we're going to start with calm breath. So breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. All the way in. And let go. And you feel relaxed.
Yeah, I feel all right. Paul, how'd you feel?
I'm going to have a nap.
I think as soon as you feel ice on the tip of your penis, you're going to be awake.
I might go in dick first.
It's always been your way.
And when you're ready, step inside all the way in with no hesitation. On 3, 2, 1, and go for it. Go for it. All the way and go, 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 go. Exhale. Exhale, exhale.
Oh, I can't do that.
Pull everything down.
That's horrendous.
You go again.
All the way.
Fucking.
All the way. Step inside.
Get in. God, fucking Jesus, fucking
A few more breaths to slow everything down.
I feel like as your friend I should piss on your back. Just tell me you want to piss on your back for the warmth. I think that's a yes.
It's quite calm now, isn't it?
It was so cold in there. Did you enjoy that?
I enjoyed that. I haven't had a bath in years. I thought this career would take me to the point of having baths with women and Playboy Mansion and shit.
Yeah. But literally, you're having a bath, a cold bath in a basement with me.
With some porno guys shouting out behind us.
He's not a porno.
You must breathe.
He's just European.
So
So cold, so cold. Now, finally, it's time for good deeds, and what a joy it is to introduce you to Brian. He's a great-grandfather, he's 82, and he is Britain's oldest takeaway driver.
I'm Brian, and I'm 82, and I'm the oldest delivery driver in Great Britain, unless someone can prove otherwise. When I got my first job, I was on for £2.10 equivalent a week. And I'm on that back now. I enjoy working at 82 just as I did when I was 18. Age is just a number, and it's not so much about how old you are, it's how fit you are that matters.
Brian, deliver ready.
Getting on in age, people expect you to sit and watch telly all day and do nothing else. So you got to get out and about a bit. The problem is that I live on my own. My wife always supported me from whatever I needed to do. That's 7 years ago when she died, and we always put other people first.
One night, a few drivers rang in sick, so we turned around and said, Brian, could you help us out delivering? And Brian, obviously, being Brian, said yes.
That's just me, innit? I'm at the right place at the wrong time. Good evening.
Good evening. Brian is a legend within the area. Everybody literally knows Brian around here.
He's not the typical driver that you expect to see. Like, every time I see him, I just want to give him a little squeeze.
It's a 62-year gap between me and Brian, and obviously I come into work and he's just another colleague, isn't it? It's great. Like, I want to be like that at 82.
I put Brian forward to the Takeaway Awards this year, and Brian was shortlisted from 35,000 to the last 5.
The winner is Brian. Loving his winner. Let's be outstanding for Brian.
The audience reaction was unbelievable. As an 82-year-old, I'd like to say that I'm happy with my life, and you too could be happy with your life if you do the best for everybody and yourself as well.
What an absolute sweetheart. Well, dude, thanks so much for watching the show. Good night, my friends. Good night.
You're telling me about this, I'll tell you about that. Start talking shit, you walk into another trap.